Lifesaver. I'm not trying to throw up. Primo right there. Phenomenal technique. Straight back and everything. Women's weight was good for me, so good with double unders and toes to bar. The weight is too much, so women's weight was a good workout.
All right, everybody, welcome to episode 19.3 of the All-In CrossFit podcast. We're back with another week, talking about another open workout, 19.2.
19.2 recap.
Repeat workout from 2016. Lots of cleans, lots of toes to bar, lots of double unders. Cleans got heavier as the reps went down. Toes to bar and double under stayed the same. What'd you think initially when you heard the announcement? What'd you think?
I was kind of excited. My first open was 2016, and so I think I started doing CrossFit like late spring 2015, and so the first actual open I did was this, and that was the second workout. So I was excited to retest because one, my strength's definitely gone up since then. So I was like, okay, well, I should be able to get past where I was, and two, at that time, double unders were a struggle for me. And so it was like, okay, get 10 here, 15 here, 12 here. And so as long as I didn't trip up, I should have been able to go unbroken. Yeah. So I was excited to retest and just kind of see where I was at. And I think that's how a lot of people are whenever they see a repeat, as long as it's not something that you struggled with completely.
Right. I was pumped about this one because, one, it was a repeat workout, and I like all the movements that are in there. But two, we redid this one last year leading into the open. So I think that most people, if they were tracking all this stuff, they have an idea.
Yeah, they should have a score somewhere for it.
And so it's almost like even if you didn't do the open in 16, a lot of people here have had the opportunity to do that. So they did have, a benchmark to go by doing this workout.
Another thing I liked, the change was so it's 5 rounds if you complete all of them. So in 16, you had the 4-minute time cap. So if you didn't get through, for us RX guys, if you didn't get through the cleans at 135, then before 4 minutes, you were done.
Right.
This year, you had 8 minutes. And so even if you were to struggle with that, you could, pace it so that you had more time and obviously get a better score. Because I remember when I first did it I had to push hard to be able to get it to the next round.
Yeah.
And so then this year you had a little bit more time, but the time cap wasn't an issue. But for a lot of folks, it gave them a chance to 8 minutes to work out,
right?
Instead, as opposed to 4,
exactly,
where people would get capped.
And I think after doing it, I think that the 8 minutes created a trap without even thinking about it. Because if you go back and you think, all right, if you look at this workout as the same as it was at 16 too, you had 4 minutes. And so in your mind, you're thinking, I need to bank some time in order to, have more time at the heavier barbell, because obviously as you get tired, you're not going to be able to cycle that bar as fast as possible. But I think this workout, having 8 minutes to get through the first 2 sections, created a trap. Because I mean, if you were hauling tail through the first part, and then you look up and you have all this time, then now you're spent.
Yep.
You're tired, and you had 8 minutes. Like you finished one section. Like I think I finished the first section around the 2:30 mark, and I mean that's a whole minute and a half to go if we're looking at it in 16.2. And I know when I did it in 2016, I finished after that. And I know when I redid it last year, I finished after that.
Yeah.
But then I ended up getting way further those previous 2 times I did this past time because I was spent.
Well, that and, I mean, you're not 100% healthy.
Yeah, but I mean.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. But, yeah, no, I agree.
I don't think.
And I think it's similar.
I
think the pacing thing, I think it's similar to, not the exact same, to what we saw in 19.1. Like, if you come out too hot, I mean, it's game over. You have 15 minutes. This one is a little different. The window's shorter. But in order to get to the next one, you have to finish that round.
Right.
And so, like you're saying, you think, okay, I've got 8 minutes. I'm going to move through this so that I have that more of a window for a heavier weight, because all I need to do before that 8 minutes, if you're going to get through the round at 185, you just have to finish up before then, and you've got another 4.
Right.
Finish up 225, another 4, 275, another 4 to finish out the workout. So, yeah, I mean, it's somewhat of a pacing strategy. You look at the toes to bar, you don't want to go unbroken because, I mean, like what happened to me, I did 5s, but my toe to bar is what set me back.
Right.
And so then that kind of caused a backlog for me going into the weights at 185.
Yeah. I mean, speaking about the toes to bar too, I spent a lot of time this weekend watching videos, even going back, watching Ben Smith and Froning do it in 2016, and Ben Smith ended up winning it worldwide. But then, watching everyone here work out, and then a couple of videos that random people have posted from their attempt at it this year. I mean, if your toes to bar consistent, like a consistent sets of 5 compared to people who went unbroken. Like I watched a video where one person did sets of 5. They hopped down, shook their hands, jumped right back up, right next to someone who went unbroken, and the unbroken person finished like a second and a half before the guy who broke it up in 5s. And so, if your toes to bar are consistent, I feel like you just have to almost have to break it up into smaller sets, because you don't need to bank so much time in the beginning when you have 8 minutes as opposed to when you have 4. I mean, I know it seems crazy to think that way, because 8 minutes and 8 minutes is still the same. Yeah. But
it's different if you have a certain point you have to get past in order to have the full 8 minutes. I mean, because in case something did happen, now you've got an extra 4 minutes to do something. You can make up ground on your toe to bar double under later.
Right.
But yeah, that is the only thing that differs from 16. The rest of it literally is just, you have a gymnastics movement, then you have a body weight movement that has a little bit more skill in the double under, and then you've got cleans that progress. Rep scheme goes down, weight goes up.
So if you were to redo it, what would you do differently?
Stretch better. No, but I don't know. Like I would probably pace a little bit better. Not worry as much about the first round. It's kind of like you're saying, because I know that I'm going to have time on the back end, and then so I went 5 straight across for my toe to bar in the first round. Second round was like a 5, a 4, 3, and then it was like 2 and then 1 for the remainder. Yeah. But the ones were not because like I was trying to stay quick, grip issue is because I kept cramping in my core. And so like I would try and pull tighter, top of my abs would cramp up, bottom abs on the next one. And so it was more of an issue of like I would only be able to get one before I was cramping up. And so then I'd have to step back for a few seconds. So I lost a good bit of time there, which I would like to have for me to try and get deeper into the reps at 185. I think I made it through 6, and there's 13 that I needed to be able to get to the next round. And so I would probably still stick with 5s, but maybe try and keep like a quick 2 or a quick 3 at the beginning of the second round, just to try and not get to the point that I fatigue myself so much that I'm cramping up again.
Right. And singles on cleans?
Yeah, singles on cleans. I didn't see any reason to go with any touch and goes.
Yeah. I don't think anyone in this workout should ever do, unless you know that you're in great shape. Yeah. You're not going to get tired doing toes to bar. Or hanging knee raises, which we need to talk about that, because I feel that's the scaled version's almost totally different.
Yeah.
But if your toes are great and you're in phenomenal shape, then you're the only person.
Yeah.
And you're super strong.
For me,
you're the only person that needs
for
to
me,
touch
it
your
wasn't.
phone.
It was more of a grip thing. I just didn't want my grip to blow up. So like going into it, I'm thinking like you're going to be hanging. So in 2016, I made it to the bar at 185 and hit one clean.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I should be able to at least make it there this year. And so I did not want my grip to go because I was thinking like, okay, I should be able to get at least a couple more reps in at 185. So I tried to save that. So going in, I immediately thought singles. And then from talking to everybody, like you realize that, okay, it's 15 reps. If you just get a quick breather, hit another rep, quick breather, hit another rep. There's no reason to even worry about touch and go unless you are right at the end, your time's running out and you need to hit that next, like finish your reps before you get to the next round.
Right. Yeah, singles all the way. Let's talk about the scaled version of this workout because I think it's almost totally different. It's a totally different ball game because with the scaled version, it's hanging knee raises as opposed to toes to bar. So I think hanging knee raises are tough, especially if you consider if you look at knees to elbows to toes to bar. Knees to elbows are definitely tougher for me personally than toes to bar.
I'm terrible at knees to elbow.
Yeah, but with this hanging knee raise standard of getting your feet behind the bar you're hanging from and your knees above your hips, for most people that's just a grip deal.
Yeah.
And so they're looking at going unbroken throughout the whole thing, and then you have your single unders, but then when you get to the clean,
and the singles were just 50. It was 50 singles, right? So you didn't have to do any 2-to-1 ratio or anything. So it was the same rep scheme.
Yeah. So I think for the people out there that are doing this workout scale, and if you're thinking about redoing it, you got to know that it's basically a race to get to. Well, not really a race, but the race in itself is to try to finish, especially if you know the weights are one thing. Or another.
Manageable.
Yeah, but you're gonna have a lot of time on the barbell because the other two movements can be done really quick, like 50 seconds for the single unders. Hell, maybe even 50 seconds or less for the hanging knee raises, as long as your grip doesn't blow up, right? And so considering that, you got to think about your grip the whole time.
Yep.
Because the lighter barbells, it's not going to be an issue. But once you get to the heavier ones, if you've been cranking out unbroken sets of the hanging knee raises the whole time, your grip's going to be shot.
Oh yeah.
When you get to the barbell. So I think anyone out there doing a scale, you got to think about that. Like, break up your hanging knee raises early to save your grip later on. Where for most people, it's like, let me break up my toes to bar because I'm trying to save my grip.
Right.
From my toes to bar.
Yeah.
So I think totally different workout when it comes to that. And something that I know is in the standards, and not everyone pays attention to them. I even told people about this, and they forgot about it during the workout. But the power clean into the front squat.
Yeah.
Like, that is something I think should be taken advantage of. Especially if you're one of those people and you know that you're clean, you don't feel 100% confident when you're full clean at all times, especially under fatigue. You got to take advantage of that. I feel like the power clean into a front squat is a great tool to have since it's allowed.
Yep.
I want you to think back to when you got to 185. Like, would you have gone to the barbell and picked it up sooner if you would have been thinking, let me do a power clean into a front squat?
Me?
Yes.
If not initially, because I still had plenty of juice in my legs, but my last couple of reps, because I had to crank some out because I was running out of time.
Yeah.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Because as a power, you not really have to worry about anything. You literally just rip it off the ground, and then you use that momentum to bounce out of your front squat. One thing that I was telling somebody was, while I have fresh legs, to keep the movement shorter, I was thinking I'm going to do a squat clean until I can't anymore.
Yeah.
And just because I can catch lower and then stand up from there. And so I didn't have to go through that movement of having to squat down and then back up. But later, I 100% would have done that if I had even thought about it.
Right. You got to think about it. That's would have cost you. That would have saved you.
Oh yeah.
A lot of time.
Especially if you have time on the clock.
Yeah.
Use that to your advantage.
Definitely.
I may actually use that when I redo it tomorrow.
Take advantage. It'll be interesting. We'll talk about how that worked out for you on the next episode.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, I just feel that's a great something that we got to take advantage of when it's there, especially when the rules allow it.
Yep.
So, was there anything of note that you that stood out to you with when we did our Thursday throwdown? So they had Natalie and Tripp, brother, sister.
Yeah,
daughter.
that was really cool.
Kyle,
One of the things,
our
okay.
sponsor, Kyle.
Yeah,
From O'Brien Dental.
absolutely.
You know.
Sponsor for this week.
Sponsor for this week's workout, throwing down on Thursday night. That was awesome to see.
Yeah.
And,
Also, shout out to Kyle for doing the women's RX weight.
Dominating it. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. No, I mean it was. I'm glad that a lot more guys showed up. I don't know if it was the beer incentive or what it was, but
Shout out to Drew for the beer.
yeah. But no, I mean it was good. I haven't seen the attendance numbers. Do you know how many?
I think we got it. I think we had that. We got the win on attendance Thursday night.
Okay, there we go.
So it's getting close.
Yep.
I mean, this competition is going to heat up big time because the guys are stepping up and the females are just dwindling at this point. So I think it's going to be a really good shot because I mean, a lot of people were just saying your girl's going to win it.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Yep.
But,
We had better participation in the workout last week, or which would have been 19-1.
Yep.
And but the girl showed us up on attendance on Thursday night. So yeah, we did good. We did good.
We're coming back.
It was a lot of fun.
We're coming back. So we just got to keep that thing going. If you're listening to this, make sure if you're a guy that you're here on Thursday night.
Oh yeah.
And that you do the workout.
Yep.
And not only do the workout, show up to do the workout, but log your score. So many people last week, we had to like hunt them down to log their score. I mean, it's so easy to do.
Yeah, especially
the app.
being on Sugar Wad.
Yeah, open the app, tap, 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 done. Tap, 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 done. So, got anything else you want to add?
Not about 19-2. Do we want to do our predictions for 19-3?
I don't even know.
Yeah, I'm clueless.
Yeah.
This past week, I thought they were going to throw the thrusters in first
Yeah.
with some more advanced gymnastics, but
I'm saying box jumps are coming.
deadlifts, box jumps, shoulder
Maybe.
overhead box jumps.
Shoulder overhead and box jumps, my prediction. That's what I'm calling. Shoulder overhead, box jumps, and maybe the burpee.
Ooh.
Call it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm literally clueless this week.
I called 16.2. You can ask Joey. You can ask Joey Patterson. I called it to the T. Well, I didn't call the change in the first section,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I did call the 16.2 repeat. So that's it.
It's a quick one this week.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it's got to be like that. But if you're listening, you're watching, go to the YouTube channel, like, subscribe. Same thing on iTunes, on the podcast app. Check us out on Spotify.
Yep.
We're everywhere. The All In CrossFit Podcast on all your podcast listening channels, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. Shout out to Jarrett for the highlight videos. Jay Litton Studios. Be on the lookout for a rap album, maybe. And until then.
And then maybe we'll throw in that intro.
Yeah. Until then, we'll see you next time.
Is that going to be the intro?
That song will be tight.
Yeah, we can do that for the intro jingle.
We'll probably have to pay somebody for it.
No, what is
Oh, just me do it?
Yeah. That make it unique.
This music was produced and recorded by Jay Litton Studios.